Alright, Shalom. Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're going to go into how Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is against the Edomites. Okay, how Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is against the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man, that the Lord has a bone to pick with the Edomites. So we're going to show you, and teach you Israelites out there who care to know, those of you who are interested, we're going to show you by using the scriptures to show you that that the Lord indeed hates, okay, that he's not all love. So the Edomites are the only nation, okay, out of all 18 nations, the only nation that's will not receive mercy. They can't repent. Alright, so they're doomed for slavery and for extermination. Alright, so this is something that I didn't make it up. The prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai didn't make it up. The Lord made it up. Okay, so this is what the prophets are here to do, to teach you, okay, what the Lord's going to do. Because the prophets can't do nothing besides just teach you the word. See? So this is what it's all about. It's all about, educating you guys on what's the Israelites out there, feeding the sheep, but the right way. What's happening, why does the Lord hate the Edomites? Not just, the so-called white man's evil, he's racist. No, we're going to go into it to explain. Alright? To teach you why. See? So, we're going to go in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 7. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1 on down. The vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Okay? Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Right, okay? Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Yeah, because the whole world is coming up against the so-called white man. Okay, the whole world is coming up against the so-called white man. See, it says, thou art greatly despised. Because now, alright, people are starting to figure out who these Edomites are. Okay, yeah, everybody still sins, nobody's perfect. But these Edomites are the ones, raping children, organ harvesting, child trafficking, like major stuff, where they actually torture children and molest them and all that. Yeah, it's real stuff. This is like real heavy stuff, So this is something that you have to know, because the Edomites do like very wicked stuff. It's not like they're just, these guys didn't even pay their taxes, or no, we're talking big stuff. Okay, made major crimes on the earth, eating people, a lot, a lot going on. Yeah, adrenochrome, getting, scaring babies so they can get that adrenaline going, then they drink that blood. It's called the adrenochrome, Alright. So this is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, and that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay, so that is these Edomites. All right, because the Edomites are the ones saying that right now. You know, 'cause the prophets are saying that, hey, the Lord, Yahweh Shai is going to bring you down in 1 hour. You know, so right now, the so-called white man, the Edomites, they're pissed, you know. So they're challenging the Lord. So they're like, all right, well, we're going to fight him, you know. See, but the Lord's like, oh, you think the Lord, Yahweh Shai is nervous? Okay, the Lord's laughing at these cave dwellers. All right, it's something you got to know. The Lord's going to destroy them in 1 hour. 1 hour? 1 hour. Okay, so this is something that, this is something that you have to, you know, consider. You see? All right, it's something major. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, right? Because their pride, they think that they're gods now when they're clearly not. All right, they don't have the answers. They don't even know what's at the bottom of the ocean. See? So they, you know, how can they be a god? You know what I'm saying? Why are they drinking adrenochrome? You know, children's blood, because they're trying to live long. They're not gods. Gods are immortal. They're clearly immortal. So see, in their heads, you know, they're full of pride, like, oh yeah, we're the shiznit, when they're not. Just because the Lord gave them some money and some AI, some toys. Now these clowns think that they're gods. They're clearly not, you know. Remember, they're base men. Though thou dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. Okay? And the cliffs of the rock. So, something that is major, something that is a major point here. Though thou dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. Okay, so those that the Edomites, they're not from the Caucasus Mountains. All right, they're originally from Mount Petra. Okay, they're originally from Mount Seir. So that is, you know, that is, you know, that's over there south of Jerusalem. So after the original first Roman Empire fell, okay, after you know, 300 AD, all right, the Israelites pushed them into the Caucasus Mountains, which is in Georgia, Russia. See, so that's why they have the name called Caucasians, because Caucasian means cave dweller. So that is why they call themselves Caucasians, because it simply means because they dwelt in the caves. And that was in the medieval period when the Israelites ruled over there in Europe. Okay, the Israelites were ruling in Europe to Russia all the way to the late 1800s. You see, so in that time period from 300 AD to about 1300 AD was that about that 1,000-year span where the Caucasus, the Edomites, the South Plaquemine white people, were pushed into the Caucasus Mountains. We pushed them into those mountains. And the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we ruled in Europe in that time. Okay, the Dark Ages, all right, the medieval era, that was us. Okay, that was, we ruled all that. That was all Jake that ruled in that time. Yeah. Yep, remember that movie, if you guys ever seen that movie, Braveheart? Okay, that was us. That wasn't no so-called, you know, white people and, you know, walking around with skirts and stuff, showing their behinds. That's bugged out, okay? Because we were, all those old castles in Scotland and all that, we built those. Okay, the Israelites, we built those. All right, check it out. You know, the land of Scotland and all that. Okay, And there's still a lot of Jakes out there. They kind of have like that reddish hair that look like so-called white people, but they have like a little bit of reddish hair. Okay, they're not all of them, but a lot of them are Jakes. A lot of them are Israelites. Okay. So in that time, just real quick, that movie Braveheart. All right, remember how you had William Wallace, and they're fighting against like the people right there, like the people, the soldiers. All right, that was Jake versus Jake. Okay, that was us. That was us fighting ourselves back in that time. All right, there were no Edomites. Okay, just to let you know. So all that is our history, because that really happened. Where we were fighting each other and all that. All right, that history really happened, and that's major history. That's major right there, because that's something important for you to know out there. All right, so when the Roman Empire fell, right after Constantine, all right, that era right there, 300 AD to about 1300 AD, is when we pushed the Edomites. Okay, the so-called white man, the so-called Caucasian, to the Caucasus Mountains. You see. And also, it says right here, and thou dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. Yeah, who do you see mainly rock climbing? Okay, who are the main ones out there rock climbing? Like on those trails and all that. The Edomites, so-called white man, because it's in your nature. Okay, that's part of your habitat. See, you have Asians out there. Yeah, you have Israelites out there. But who are the main ones doing that? The so-called white man. Okay, this is why a lot of so-called Caucasians, not putting them down, just making a point. When a lot of them make money, they want to move to the hills. See? Because it's like it's a pride thing too, because they want to feel like God, like, oh yeah, I'm at the top of the hill, everybody else is beneath me. But also it's in their nature, because they're from the mountains. Okay, remember, their natural habitat is to be in the mountains. All right, why do you think all these dudes dig holes in the ground, all these underground cities? Because they're cave dwellers. They like being inside the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Just pointing stuff out, to show you that the Edomites are indeed still walking the earth right now, starting with the Rothschilds, Rockefellers on down, baby. All right, just to let you know, because some of you that are not learned out there, I know you're trying, but this is just to correct you, because a lot of religions out there say that, oh yeah, the Edomites were done away with. They're still walking the earth right now. Donald Trump is the Edomite. He's a Temanite. That means because he's a German, but he's an Edomite. All right, just giving you examples, okay? People that that way, it's just quick and straight to the point. Biden is the Edomite. All right, just to let you know that the Edomites are still walking the earth right now. The Rothschilds, those are Edomites. Just to throw an example out there to show you, whose habitation is high, right? Okay, so it was first started in this the so-called white man's kingdom, that they build those skyscrapers. Okay, that they build those skyscrapers. Oh yeah, So, with that being said, is no other kingdom, did you have all these skyscrapers. So the so-called white man brought that, and the first buildings, so-called skyscraper was in the United States. Okay, but now look at around the world. But who created that? The so-called white man. Because he has a God complex. All right, because to build a building that high is bugged out. All right, it's bugged out, it's bugged out. All right, you don't need to be that high. The hell? You know, but why does he want to be all that high for? Because he wants to be like, yeah, I'm God. Look at everyone's beneath me, to show off. See? And that's a woman characteristic, okay? Because like, you want everyone to look at you like, oh, look at me. See, that's a trait of a woman. See? Remember, these Edomites they're little bitches. This is why you can't even talk about them. They get all offended. All right? He starts acting like a little fresa. Starts acting like a little mija. Yeah, because they're sensitive. They're like, oh, you can't say that. Though, the boss will come around and say, oh, I'm not happy. What do you mean you're not happy? You fucking frosted flake. They act like chicks. Shit, the Edomites, a lot of them are queers. They hook up with men. And you're telling me that this man's not soft? Don't even start. Don't even start, man. You see? Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right. Because he's saying in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Because, he's thinking right now, well, he's hearing the prophets, talking about him, but he's saying right now, like, man, who's going to bring me down to the ground? See, because he thinks, oh yeah, we're going to rule forever. Ain't nobody going to stop us. Shit. When Yahweh sends Yahushua and the angels, they're going to stop our enemies in 1 hour. That's it. All those jets and tanks, that's playtime to the angels and the 144. Facts. And those you Edomites that are listening out there, you don't believe it, you laugh, step up to get beat down, There's only one way to find out. Run it. If you think that this is that the angels and the Lord don't got that power, fire up that jet. Fire up that jet. And let's see what you got. See what I'm saying? You think that, oh, you can beat the Lord? Well, we're watching. Because trust me, that's playtime. The tanks, jets, those are just toys to the angels. Facts. A lot of people laugh like, yeah, right. Well, you're laughing at your own slaughter. You see? Yeah. But the whole world will find out, who really, who are the true gods, and who is just a wannabe. Facts, This is why the Lord tells his believers, just watch, only with thy eyes, because the Lord is going to destroy them all. Remember how the Lord destroyed Pharaoh and his whole military? Yeah. All right, so let's go to verse 5 here. If thieves came to thee, wait a minute. Verse 4. Let's get verse 4. Here we go. Oh, this is major. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Okay, so who exalts himself as the eagle? Okay, that's pretty clear and straight to the point, the so-called white man. All right, they're the ones who exalt themselves as the eagle. You see? All right, what happened here? Here we go. Let's see real fast. All right, so right here, let me see here. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. So yeah, the so-called white man, exalts himself as the eagle. What is America? What do they always bring out? The bald eagle. Russia, the eagle. See? So that's just to show you that the Edomites are still here, because they represent like, yeah, we're the eagle. That's us. See? Just to show you, not even to make fun of you or nothing, just to let you know that the Edomites are still walking the earth right now, baby. Okay, because these are some of their characteristics, some of their traits. Just to let you know, we're not just like, oh, it's them. Like, no, we're going to show you, baby, by using facts, by using the scriptures, everything. See? And though thou set thy nest among the stars. So they're not out there setting up bird nests and stuff, you know. So what they're doing up there, these Edomites, along with the heathens, because China's up there too. They are their nests among the stars. That means the satellites. Okay, that means the satellites, because they even have lasers up there. You know, if you get a book called Space Warfare and stuff like that, because they weaponize space. Remember, they could go up there so far, but they can't pass the Van Halen belts. So they can only go up there so far. Okay, that's it. Just to let you know. All right, but they can't. So they have their satellites up there. You know, their ISS, International Space Station. You know, Russia has their stuff. China has their stuff. But who's the first? Who's the first one up there? The Russians. The who are Edomites. Okay, and then it was America, but they're both Edomites. See? So that's why, like in this war, Russia and America, yeah, you have Israelites that are in the war, sure, that are generals and stuff like that, and the Marines. But something that you gotta know is that they're both Edomites. So who's the one right now pointing nukes at each other? Our enemies, the Edomites and heathens. It has nothing to do with us. Remember, we're just gonna sit back and watch the show. You know, let Donald Trump get all mad with Putin. You know, let these dudes duke it out. Shit, you know. Let them, man. The Lord said, I'm gonna destroy our enemies right before our eyes. Remember that. So what's the first step? The Lord's gonna have these nations and these heathens and Edomites fired ICBMs at each other. See that? So the Lord's already destroying him, and he hasn't even got here yet. Remember, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is a man of war. Remember that. Yeah. You know. So although thy set thy nest among the stars, right there, okay, because they up there they have their satellites and stuff like that, you know. Thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord. Yeah. So ever since 1969, when America lied about going to the moon, all right, that's fine and all, but that's when the Lord put Abba Bivens on the scene, John the Baptist. All right, that's when the truth came out, you know, 1969 by Abba Bivens. See, so that's when the Lord said, you know, once you go out there, that from that time right there is when that was it, you know. So 1969. So another reason why right now these leaders can't really like fake another moon landing, because the moon is not a rock. It's not like a hard planet. The moon is a light. All right, just to let you know, it's a luminaire. So the reason why they can't really fake one now is because there's so much CGI. You know, there's so much now advanced computers and stuff that people will know that it's fake. All right, real fast. All right, so the reason why, you know, the space astronauts have a space apparatus, okay, up there, it's, you know, a spacesuit, if you will. You know, an astronaut suit. Why is that? Because there's no oxygen out there. So how was that American flag waving in the background? There's no air up there. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to point out, but that's just one right there. You know, and the list goes on and on and on. But that's just to let you know. And yeah, ain't nobody landing on the moon like that. Okay, it's not like that. All right, it's something that you gotta understand. Okay. It's something that you have to, you know, like understand. All right, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? See, because yeah, these top international bankers, they just take. They their belly's never full. You know, they're never satisfied. You see, so you know they're so this is something that you have to understand. You know. So this is yeah, they're never satisfied. They just want more and more and more. This is why the Lord said if he wouldn't come back to the earth, there would be no flesh to be saved. You see? All right, verse 6. How are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So, how are people figuring out about the Illuminati and all these that all these people are corrupt and all that stuff, that they're satanic and all that, with these elites? How? By the way of the internet and by the way of the prophets exposing these elites and satanic worshippers at a high level, because it's nonstop. Because the prophets are out there nonstop, they're out there nonstop. The prophets are out there nonstop. You see? So let's go to Nahum. Okay, Nahum chapter 3, verse 1 on down. Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. The prey departs not. Okay, so this is this is something that's really this is something that's really part of the this is really what's going on, So America's full of lies and it's full of blood. Because how did the so-called white man get America? By rape, robbery, and murder. Broken treaties. There's a saying that Christopher Columbus, when he came over here, he couldn't keep his sword down. He couldn't keep his sword down for 1 hour, because that's how much they were killing people. Our people, the Israelites. Remember they killed millions. Made treaties with them, waited till our people fall asleep and then killed villages, men, women, and children. Remember that. All right. So this is all adds up. The Lord hasn't forgotten none of that. A lot of you Edomites say, oh well, let bygones be bygones, and that was in the past, and we're past that point already. Remember, it don't matter what these the British said that recently, that oh yeah, that was in the past, and we're already past that. Yeah, that's just his own vain imagination. That's just what he's feeling, But remember, these Edomites are going into slavery, and they're going and then they're going to be exterminated. So they can say whatever they want. They can say, oh well, we're past that, that was a different, that was in the past, and we're past that point now. We forgot about that. No, that's what they feel, but that don't mean that's what the Lord feels. Okay, that's not what the Lord's gonna do. The Lord is coming to shoot lasers on these Edomites. This is why they're so scared. Okay, because why do you think the so-called UFO sightings are showing up so often? Because the Lord's flexing on them, showing you like I'm about to come down. I'm about to get you, boy. See? So this is why they're so freaked out, because they're like, oh shit, because it ain't up to them, See? Verse 2. The noise of a whip, the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. Yeah, that's these vehicles, okay? Because they're so loud. All right, these vehicles are so loud. Shoot, all these buses and trucks and cars. That's the jumping chariots. These cities are so loud. The horseman lift up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. So yeah, so basically what this means so basically what that means is that yeah, there's gonna be so many dead bodies out here. Okay, 'cause we're entering that now. All right, because right now Trump is attacking with the foreigners, right? But remember, he's coming for you American citizens next. 'Cause a lot of you guys are in a trick bag. You know, 'cause a lot of you are like, yeah, get the foreigners out of here. Yeah, that's right, get them. So what are you laughing at, American citizens? Trump's coming for you next. You're not part of the New World Order. All right, this is why there's UN troops here, sleeper cells, androids, killer drones. You know, and Americans are laughing like, yeah, that's right, deport them. Shit, you guys are going next into those camps. You know, it's just that, you know, of course, the Israelites got to go first because they're the main priority. You know, see, but yeah, the American citizen, they're going next. You know, yeah. So you know, verse 4, because of the multitude. Oh, this is very important. I hear Nahum chapter 3 verse 4, because of the multitude of the whoredoms and of the well-favored harlot. Yeah, well, you see that. Okay, you see that throughout Hollywood. All right, there's celebrities and stuff. Okay, because these women, for being whores and sluts, okay, they're not looked down upon like, hey man, you gotta clean yourself up. No, they're giving them Grammys. Look at Cardi B, Jennifer Lopez, major whores, major sluts. See, and people they cherish that, they worship that here in America. See, this place is completely upside down, but that's all right. This is why it's gonna be destroyed. See, people can say, well, you know, we think differently. That's fine, but that's not what the Lord says. So that cuts all that. Well, we feel, well, that's just you're just in your emotions. Okay, that's just what you feel, but that don't mean that how you feel is not gonna change what the Lord is about to do out here. See? All right, so that's why once you get a little seasoned in this truth, you know, you don't gotta worry about all this, you know, little arguments and, you know, oh no, it's not. Yes, it is. You know, you don't gotta worry about all that because you know what it is, you know, and you know that people, if they don't got it, then the Lord's not dealing with them. That they're gonna be destroyed, and just keep moving on. You know, they don't. The reason why people don't understand it is because the Lord don't want them to understand it, because they've been rejected from salvation. Remember that. So that cuts all the, well, damn, man, like yeah, it is. You know, get all mad. Don't even worry about it. You know, we're so close to these missiles flying. You know, martial law. You know, the chip being mandatory. Just hey, you know, we're right here. Just keep your eyes towards the kingdom. Remember, the non-believers, they're in their job. They don't believe. Let them be. You know what I'm saying? All right. But with that, you know that they can't go anywhere. You know. So why be, you know, all frustrated? Listen, for those of you out there that are in the faith, nobody can leave this planet. Nobody, even from the highest elites in this world, from the highest dukes of Edom, you know, from the elites of the Moabites. Okay, nobody's leaving this planet. They can say whatever they want on TV. You know, they can say whatever they want in the news. But remember, nobody's leaving this planet. The Lord's gonna get everybody. Everybody. So just chill. You know? Remember, all these liars, all these people who don't know, don't matter. Remember, the Lord's gonna get them. Yep. Remember, Yahweh Shai is coming, you guys. So don't be all, I know sometimes you get upset, like, you know, it's alright. They're not going anywhere. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms and of the well-favored harlot. Yeah, because whores and sluts here are looked upon as gods. Look at Madonna, total slut. Look, she's all famous. See? Back in the ancient world, she would have had a javelin go through her torso. See? The mistress of witchcrafts. See? That selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Because the elites of this society bow down to Satan and bafflement. You see? Alright? Verse 5. Check this out. Behold, I am against thee. So the Lord is against you, Esau. Okay, the so-called white man, the Edomites. Don't give a damn if, oh, Esau, hey, cut it out. Esau's feelings are getting hurt. Esau's feelings are getting hurt. Hell with Esau. Okay, he brought us over here in slave ships. And now it's, oh, have mercy on this dude? Hell with this cracker. You know? The hell? He's over here, raping children, organ harvesting. And it's still, oh, hey, man, let's feel bad for him. If you want to feel bad for for these Edomites, then that's on you, But remember, this man has a big tab to pay. All right? Behold, I'm against thee. So the Lord's against Esau. You can say, oh, well, hey, man, why you got to be like that? It ain't us. It's the Lord. And we're rolling with the Lord. If the Lord don't like him, then we don't like him. We stand with the Lord 100%, baby. And those of you who don't like it, prepare to get your heads ripped off by the angels in the 144. They don't give a damn about your feelings. See, because these Edomites and heathens have destroyed people. They're torturing babies. They destroyed the ocean. They destroyed the planet. So we don't give a damn what you got to say at this point. Just prepare for slavery. And after that, extermination. We don't give a damn. Because you've done too much already. Said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms shall be, and the kingdoms thy shame. So this is why these dudes are being exposed at a very high rate. Why is that? Okay, why is that? Because the Lord is the Lord is coming back, and He's exposing who's who, who's who. Okay, what's going on? Who's righteous? Who He's with and who He's not with. So with that, stay prayed up, stay in the Spirit, and that's part one. I'm gonna go into part two, Lord willing, later. But that's part one on how the Lord is against these Edomites. So with that, stay strong, stay in the faith. On your feet, soldier. Shalom.